Hello again. Since you're hearing my voice at the start of this episode, that means I'm doing something, which is, as of a couple of days ago, we became the #1 film review podcast in the UK. I don't think we are anymore. It's a particularly fickle list, and the fucking Shrine of Duty guys have started a new series, so we're completely fucked because the British public will not stop listening to a podcast about cops that is in the film review segment, despite it being a TV series. But that's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. But while we were #1, I decided to give out the bonus episodes where we did listener Q&As for free, and at this point, in for a penny, in for a pound. So feel free to listen to this, which is the second of our Patreon Q&As. It was originally posted on July 1st. And if you enjoyed this, hey, why not head on down to our Patreon at patreon.com/killjamesbond, where there will be the third listener Q&A posted in just a couple of days.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to.
Welcome back to the Patreon episode of Kill James Bond, where we A your Qs. You have Qs, we have As, and we will A those Qs now.
That's right.
You know who we are.
We're
not going to
Qs.
introduce ourselves.
Our names are not important.
That's right. That's right. We're here only to A Qs.
How is everyone doing today?
Well, it's insanely hot, and I began this morning by my doctor being like, "Oh, the gender identity clinic have lost your blood." We took some blood from you to establish how much girl you are as a percentage, and we lost that. So we're going to need you to come in at 11:30 in the morning British time and get some more blood sucked out so we can do your levels again. So I'm mentally deranged from having walked 2 miles in the sun and then having a bunch of my blood sucked out. How are you all doing?
That's so good that they just like, yeah, we did this stuff, but we fucking lost it. Like,
we
gender
lost
identity
your blood,
clinics
sorry.
continuing to be just the absolute standard for international medicine. I mean, really, the quality of care that we get in this country is just so good, isn't it?
You're on that waiting list, and then you get there, and they're like, "Yeah, we actually don't do shit here."
Yeah.
Wrong.
It's such a fucking joke that you like wait 20-something years to get into the gender identity clinic, and then when you get in, the quality of service is just fucking shit.
Quality of the service.
They're just like, here's some fucking pills. Fuck off.
Oh, you got pills? I got come back for like 3 psychiatrist visits across a year, and then maybe at the end of that we'll consider giving you some pills.
Yeah. So you should be buying hormones on the black market is basically the Kill James Bond stance.
We legally we can't tell you to do that.
We can if it's estrogen. It's perfectly legal to.
Yeah.
You can absolutely fill your boots with black market estrogen. It's not a controlled substance.
Legal.
You can't do it with testosterone. That is a controlled substance. That is a crime. However, you can very easily buy estrogen on the internet. I am told.
Obviously, our position is that crimes are bad and you should not do them.
We also cannot tell you to go to your doctor if you are assigned male at birth and say that you want testosterone blockers to prevent baldness, and then when they say, please tick this box to confirm that you're not trans, you just lie. We cannot tell you to do that. I certainly don't know anybody who's done it and it worked.
Flawlessly as well.
Yeah.
But don't do it.
Yeah, but don't do that.
I am also deranged. I have got bad brain today. I'm very disheartened. I couldn't find somewhere to cut as a promo for the Rising Sun episode.
Well, it's because we didn't do any jokes in it, which in hindsight was a bit of an error.
So I'm solving that by creating a decoction.
I see. I see the Monster Energy in your hand.
So if you could describe for the audience,
and I see also in your other hand. So it's a Monster Energy punch and a bottle of Havana Club, the politically correct Cuban whiskey.
That's right.
Not Bacardi.
The dark Cuban rum into a punch monster, and we'll see what that does to me.
What do you call this combination, Dev?
Call it the Thunderball.
That's right. Yeah, sure.
Very,
okay.
very cool. That's nice, actually. The official cocktail of the podcast is
Remembered by the Kill
Dark-
James Bond
Dark
cocktail
Havana.
book. that
Is
we
it
put
rum
together.
or whiskey?
Rum, yeah.
Dark Havana rum and
James
Monster
Bond
Punch.
being really finicky about this drink order. Like it's a specific kind of Monster Punch.
I love
Oh,
Monster
I
Energy,
chose-
especially when it's served at the correct temperature of minus whatever the fuck degrees Fahrenheit.
Minus
served at the correct temperature.
92.4 degrees. I have got some cues. I
Let's do
have
it.
gone through.
Yeah. Cue us those cues. And do try to bring the cues back in One Piece
To
007.
the hogs. Great work. I asked this on Monday, and we're recording this Wednesday, and we had like 105-ish questions for me to pick through.
Good
So
lord.
mathematically, at least a few of them have been good.
Okay, but like 90 of those are going to be to Abigail, and they're going to be like, drop the skincare routine.
You know what?
Half of them
Nope.
are like, "Will you date me?" And it's like, "No."
It's just an attached picture of them and being like, "So what do you reckon?" How you feeling
People
about
actually
this?
do email me like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, "No."
You
Yeah,
come
and
here
I
often.
did that in confidence.
Yeah, the only way to start a relationship with Abigail Thorne, as we know, begin a podcast with her.
CV.
I thought you were just going to put in the boo. Yeah, the only way to start a relationship with me is beep.
So let's just rip that band-aid off real quick. A bunch of people asked this. We've had 3 bonds. Fuck, marry, kill.
Ooh.
Hard hitting.
Well,
right out
I'm
the
not
gate.
marrying Lazenby for self-preservation reasons.
Yeah, that's a great shout.
Yes, good point. Ooh.
Shit, because that would have been my marry. You know,
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
still
yeah.
marry Lazenby. For me, it's going to be marry Lazenby. I'm going to kill Roger Moore. I'm sorry, I'm fucking Connery.
Yeah, we have to kill Roger Moore. I am gonna like I'm gonna marry Connery, but then like murder him in his sleep, something which will be extremely easy because I can just strap him into a wiggler.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fuck Lazenby because he's like gonna be the most considerate lover, and I'm gonna kill Roger Moore.
No, I think I'm going to marry George Lazenby.
Mhm.
Abby, no.
I'm marrying
Wait,
Lazenby.
I would simply duck. You know, when Blofeld comes by, I would simply bend over, and that'd be fine.
Rip to
Um,
Diana Rigg.
What
but
are you doing bending over in the car with George Lazenby at a quiet lay-by?
I'm avoiding
is the
being
question.
shot. Is what I'm doing.
Mm.
Well, he would later deny it to the press. Of course, he didn't know that I was trans at the time. He was just looking for cocaine. But
Oh.
but I'm gonna kill Sean Connery. I'll fuck Roger Moore, just to say, you know what, I did.
Imagine those eyebrows going up and down while he's like inside of you.
My issue with fucking
Wow.
Roger Moore is that he would just keep saying shit
Roger Moore.
the whole time, I reckon.
Yeah, well, the thing is, right? You would get the like doot horns whenever
you
he'd
would.
like when he came, right? It would be like
But James, I need you.
So does England.
he's just coming at this point.
I think you're assuming that I would let him come. There's many ways to fuck.
So this is
a
more of
Bond
a
actor.
like dom type fucking. I see.
Well, it could be. It just says fuck. Like, you could peg Roger Moore, like peg James Bond. I'm just saying you could do it.
Yeah,
you
we're
could.
changing the name of the podcast to
No.
Peg James Bond
Please.
for Pride Month.
For Pride Month. Happy Pride. Is this going to come out during Pride? I don't actually think
Actually,
it is.
you know what? Maybe I would change my answer because if we're going down that route, then I would peg Connery for the fun of it.
Oh no, this is coming out on Wednesday the 30th of June, so the last day of Pride
Still
Month.
doing
Still
Peg Sean Connery just because I think that would be funny. And
Can we like intercut the footage of Connery on the Wiggler at this point?
I don't want to. I will, but I don't want to.
Actually, I don't know if this story is true, so my apologies to the estate of Sean Connery, but we are behind the paywall, so I can just libel if I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
That's
friend
my
of a
understanding.
friend apparently once won a round of golf with Sean Connery.
And pegged him.
And on the first hole, he asked Sean Connery, he's like, look, you've like, obviously slept with some very beautiful, like famous women over the years. Who's been your favorite? And Connery kind of looked at him with like disgust, and they played the rest of the match without really saying anything. And apparently, at the very end, when they finished, Connery just came up and said, Raquel Walsh, up the arse, and walked away. I don't know how true that is.
Dear.
My apologies to the Connery family if that's just completely made up, but that's what I was told.
Yes, I was pegged by Raquel Welsh. Right up the arse.
Right up the arse. Sure.
Raquel Welsh pegged me. It's very compelling.
Right. Okay, so conceptualize that we're in the Chad universe where George Lazenby stayed on for the entirety of the time that Moore was in.
Yeah. The good timeline.
I want us to, Steve has asked us this, to extrapolate out from there who would play the Bonds past that point in the Chad universe.
In the Chad universe, Dalton is still doing it.
Yeah, still Dalton.
He's still doing it now.
Doing it now. But Brosnan is good.
Brosnan is good, but like, I think Dalton is more of a Chad than Brosnan is the thing. And as we've seen from Hot Fuzz, right, which was what, like 2006 or something, he's still fucking had it into the noughties, right? Like it was still there. So yeah, 100% old Dalton,
but he carries on throughout the Brosnans.
I think that given George Lazenby is kind of like a nice, friendlier presence, I think they would have gone in a darker direction and cast somebody who was like a bit more vicious. So I'm wondering if the Chad universe is also the one in which Sean Bean auditions for Bond but actually gets it instead of Brosnan, because he did do that. He ended up playing the villain in GoldenEye, but he auditioned for Bond. And I'm wondering if that is also the universe where we just get like very gritty northern Bond. It's just like Sharp, but in the modern day. Because there was that time when he was doing Sharp, when everyone was like, Connery's the next Bond. Like, this is what he's doing.
I have a dark horse northern answer here, which is Christopher Eccleston.
Oh my God, you just said the best thing I've ever heard in my life to me. I love Christopher Eccleston with all my fucking heart. He would eat up a Bond role.
Yeah, 100%.
You think?
Yeah,
I reckon.
Easily.
I reckon.
I say this with love to Christopher Eccleston, who is an actor who I greatly...
The nicest man in the North.
Christopher Eccleston, come on the pod.
Okay, I like legally cannot say that whilst we are on mic. Oh
boy.
Anyway, is Christopher Eccleston, how to put this in acting terms, is he the right casting for James Bond? Which is to say, is he good looking enough?
I think it would be bold to have, and I mean, listen, the extent of what we consider to be like attractiveness has also changed in these times. Like Daniel Craig, as he went into the Bond series, would not have been considered like attractive in the way that Roger Moore was, because he didn't like do the eyebrow thing. He didn't have like a gigantic chin. So who's to say?
Okay, final answer: Kumail after the Marvel serum. I want him as the next Bond. I actually think he could take over
That's just
from
like
her.
Unironically, who do you think should be the next Bond? And I will not. I am carried out of the room because I won't stop yelling Riz Ahmed's name.
Oh, you're not wrong about that either.
That would be cool. It would be interesting to see him play. I wonder if he would play James Bond. It would be certainly interesting to see. Well, Muslim James Bond would be like very interesting. I don't think they would do anything interesting with it. No. I think it would just be like he's here. Like I don't think they would do anything with like the fact that he works for a government which like kills a lot of Muslim people. But like, yeah, that's an interesting idea.
That's what I would do if you gave me the Bond series and you just like, okay, you can now do whatever you want with this. I'm like, okay, step one, I am offering Riz Ahmed all of the money in the world.
Yeah.
We sort of got that question, so let's just extrapolate from there. So you've cast your Bond. Who's he up against? What's the villain in this movie that we're putting together?
Capitalism.
Sure. Played by... We need a guy It's still a movie. We do need to have like a face of it.
Fine, Jesus. Okay, an obvious takeoff of Jeff Bezos. Yeah, James Bond fighting Jesus.
I don't know.
He denies the divinity of Christ. Muslim James Bond is going to put an end to this Christianity shit.
Casting this up, and he's like, "Look, Jesus is an important figure. He just isn't the son of God."
Yeah, you just still have to fist fight him on top of a catwalk in a burning oil refinery. That's just how movies work.
That is true.
I think. See, I think the millstone around the neck of the James Bond films and why they're not going to ever get any better now that they've been bought by Amazon is that he has to keep working for MI6. Because my first inclination would be like, right, he doesn't work for MI6 anymore. He works for like a fictional, international, like non-ideological as we can, like organization of spies. But that's just the man from U.N.C.L.E. and you can't do that again. He has to keep working for the British government. And so we have to keep having this like weird fucking political, but we're trying not to be bullshit. But I think it would be interesting if they brought back Pierce Brosnan as the villain, as a former Bond gone rogue, who's like now turned against MI6. Not necessarily for evil either, but like genuinely who now has gone.
You're just describing GoldenEye.
You've
like
sort of
former 00 who has like gone rogue for like potentially quite good reasons. That's just GoldenEye.
I think even in our GoldenEye 64 episode, you said this pretty much verbatim. And I fucking agreed with it then, and I agree with it now. So carry on, Queen.
It would be cool. Yeah, I think just bringing him back as a Bond, but like give him a better reason that doesn't involve like, you know, stealing from the Bank of England and stuff. But actually give him a very good reason. And then if we've set up that like Riz Ahmed is the new James Bond, but he's like struggling to come to terms with like what exactly that means, especially if we go down the route of James Bond as a code name and like Riz Ahmed is just the new guy and he like knows about the previous Bonds and it's like, shit, like I really don't know. Like that would be kind of interesting, like a personal challenge. But I just don't think it can be done.
You're not allowed to be the new James Bond because you're not like you're too diverse and woke. That could be fun.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Or even if he's just like looking at the case files of the previous Bonds and there's just like a bunch of things with like sexual harassment allegations, like, and he's like, oh God, like, do I really want this? Like, you know, there's like the Goldfinger incident and then there's just like, you know, assault allegations and like, he's just like, oh. But I just don't think it can be done. I don't think the Bond franchise is like redeemable. I think it's doomed to be chasing the action movies of 5 years ago, which is why the next one is going to be just like a ripoff of Taken.
That's why it's interesting for us to talk about too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. I'm glad it's interesting for us to talk about, really.
Yeah, it's interesting for us to talk about. And the more I say that, the more interesting it is.
The more it's real.
That's right.
All right. This has been some quite interesting analysis. Let's take a complete left turn here. What is the best fit that we've seen in the movie so far? And that comes from HJ.
The best fit. The best fit.
The best fit. We're going to do the words in a second, but the best fit first.
I genuinely, the problem is, right, we're now in a Mexican standoff with the squirt bottle because my answer is going to be
the choker from Russian with Love.
Pussy Galore's Flying Circus.
Okay.
Pussy Galore's Flying Circus. The like black turtlenecks, the bullet bras, and the like big white belts. Yeah, 100%. That's the best fit.
Yeah, again, I think my squirt bottle answer is definitely just going to be the choker from Russia with Love because that's a strong outfit. It's technically an outfit that counts.
Is it
but
technically
I think
an outfit?
It is. It's a
all
look.
horny.
Yeah,
always was.
But I think also Goldfinger's gold dinner jacket is fucking cool because if you haven't seen the movie, listeners, like it's not like a garish gold. It's kind of like gold so that you have to do a double take and be like, wait, is that a gold? Because it's kind of like not burnished, but like sort of like
lamé. Yeah.
Exactly. You have to like look twice and be like, holy shit, that's a gold dinner jacket, and it's just fucking sick. I love it.
100%. Yeah. Also, a side note that the classic tuxedo, like black and white dinner jacket, pulled off better than Bond by none other than
Who is Bond compared with Kronstein?
Yeah,
it's the only thing we see him wearing, and he wears it better than Bond ever does.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to yell at me over this, but I can't remember that many fits, but there are two that stick in my mind, so they have to be my answers, just definitionally, I think. And the first one that people are going to be mad at me about is in Goldfinger, in the same sort of in the scene that they introduce Goldfinger, Bond is wearing that baby blue towel material
Oh, yeah.
shorts and button-down combo.
Fucking onesie.
Where he's dressed as my dad, yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love that outfit and I want it.
Yeah, it's
And my
very, it
second
would suit
one-
you, actually.
My second one that you're going to be mad at me specifically for is I think George Lazenby's suit with the ruffles. I did like that.
I am mad at
I
you for
actually
that.
really
Again,
liked
you
that.
would suit that. Like, you would look good.
Thank you. You're extremely nice to me. Let us counterpoint this then immediately. Callum Ferguson says, worst fit.
Worst fit.
I have an answer
it's
immediately.
Either Lazenby or Moore's ski suits.
Mm.
Yeah, the yellow ski
Moore's
suit.
yellow ski suit with the red hat and the big goggles is a strong contender.
Again, dressed as my
Also-
dad, but in a very different way.
Also for consideration of the Midnight Society, every fucking safari suit that Roger Moore wears, in like especially in Man with the Golden Gun, where he like just rocks up wearing a green safari suit top and like white pants, atrocious.
Here's my answer. And it follows a similar sort of thread to what I thought was the good suit. And I have put a picture of it into the Discord chat, but I know this is an
Let me
audio
see
medium,
here.
so let me describe it also.
Right.
It's
Okay.
it's when Roger Moore in Live and Let Die at the resort on St. Kitts and Nevis, or wherever the fuck he was wearing a baby blue set of full-length trousers, a sort of an open jacket, and like a mesh tank top.
It's a string vest,
And
kind
he looks
of. And
like
he's-
shit.
He's wearing a Canadian tuxedo in baby blue. The most visible thing about him is like the imprint of his dick, which is weird. And
Thin.
just like, where do you even get baby blue denim?
Yeah.
Where do you get a baby blue denim jacket?
The other worst part of his fit is that later on when he turns around, you see that my man has no kind of ass.
No.
Which is that's a physical
No, you
problem
could
for him.
you
Like,
could
that's not
like
an issue.
drop a penny from like between his shoulder blades and it hits the floor. You know,
Mm.
Fucked up.
terrible.
My question is yellow face an outfit?
That's I feel
When
like
combined with the gi as it was, I think yeah.
So I think
Okay,
that's
yeah.
going to be one of the ways. It's like, because he just looks fucking ridiculous. Not only is it offensive, but he looks ridiculous. I think also, so I think worst fit has to go to Connery's yellow face. I think a notable runner-up is the one scene where Solitaire is randomly dressed as ContraPoints. I think because it just makes no sense. Like,
Yeah,
as
it's
soon
just
as I saw it, I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen that outfit before. Like, because she's got this like huge headdress. It's when she's doing her card thing for Kananga. She's got this like massive headdress. I'm just like, no. I mean, it's a lovely outfit.
Yeah,
it's
and
just
a big cardboard cutout of Jordan Peterson as well in the background. It's very strange.
But I'm just like, why is it in this scene? You know, I'm expecting her I'm expecting her to tell me about like trans topics and cancel culture and stuff. I'm just like, it just took me out of the film.
You know what? I'm feeling the fits question, so let's keep this one going here. John Harwood asks, what fit would you assign to the henchman in your secret lair? And
I really like the color-coded jumpsuits that we've seen in a couple of these. We've seen it in, most notably, You Only Live Twice, and we've seen it in, the most recent one that we watched, The Spy Who Loved Me.
I love me, yeah.
Where you just have like guys in like serious like primary color jumpsuits with like a spray painted silver safety helmet and like a spray painted silver belt. That's my jam. That's how a henchman.
The ones in You Only Live Twice are also especially notable because the helmets are like a perfect large orb that they just also have on in the primary color, and I think that goes.
Absolutely. You wear some shit that gets assigned to you from the Hench app, as far as I'm concerned.
Spanish Foreign Legion outfit.
You must have this much chest hair to have.
Oh, I'm not employing anyone as a perfect himbo. Let's be completely honest.
Yeah. Also, the himbo outfits from OK Connery from the yacht. When all the guys are dressed as like himbo sailors, that's a fun one.
Fuck, that's a deep cut, but you're completely right.
Yeah, that was a great henchman outfit.
Hell Hell yeah.
Although, I might just come back to my earlier answer, because are we counting Pussy Galore's Flying Circus as henchmen? Because if we are,
Technically.
then by default, by ex cathedra, right, they have to be the best henchmen fix. They're the best fit.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'd put them all in the baby blue towel material romper. And I think that would look good. I'm only employing guys with thick quads.
Pussy Galore's Flying Circus, with it's all big dudes wearing baby blue
It's
denim.
very confusing for me
Yes.
because Pussy Galore's a flying circus of blonde Americans, yes, but they're all dressed as my dad. I'm very confused.
It's like a
I'm doing muscle
nightmare that you
confusion.
have. Yeah.
Doing muscle confusion like on my libido.
Yeah, turning the squirt gun on yourself.
In a final act, they have turned the squirt gun on themselves. They've called down a strike on their own position.
We will die as heroes.
Here's a quick one about the theme songs. We had a little bit of discussion regarding the Man with the Golden Gun, but Dana Himrich asks, "What's the favorite theme song out of the bunch so far?" And so far means not including Moonraker, because that comes out next.
I think Shirley Bassey, Undefeated, and therefore Goldfinger. Simple as.
Goldfinger's good. I do like Goldfinger. Goldfinger has a special place in my heart, of course. But I kind of, and it's not even recency bias, I like The Spy Who Loved Me.
Mm-hmm.
I really like The Spy Who Loved Me. It's the only one that I've actually just listened to.
Carly Simon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody does it better.
Nobody does it better.
Yeah,
Great.
it's a good one. I like that too. I think that's my second place. I think if I'm going off just by which one do I still listen to and do I have on my iPod, I think it's
Thunderbolt,
Diamonds.
yeah.
Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay, Connery.
Diamonds Are Forever. Genuinely,
Oh,
when I'm feeling ambitious and evil, I do listen to Diamonds Are Forever.
You actually are
Diamonds
completely
Are Forever
right.
is the biggest gulf between the quality of the theme song and the quality of the movie.
Yes.
If you just watch the first 10 minutes of Diamonds Are Forever, it's an absolute banger of a movie.
Yeah,
You just
great.
turn it
It's
up
fucking
there.
great.
You know, you might be right. That might have unseated it for me.
I don't need love, for what good will love do me? Diamonds never lie to me. It's such a
It's
good
so good.
lyric. I'm ooh, yeah, damn right. Unlike men, the diamonds linger. I'm yeah, they do. If I owned any diamonds, I would wear them as I listened to it.
Yeah, I mostly own titanium. Here's a question that we got, and it doesn't.
That was such a fucking, because the listeners can't see you holding your rings up to the camera. That's such a fucking henchman answer. It's yeah, I'm having a set of titanium teeth made.
I only wear titanium. I've got a big fucking chain on right now.
It's a cool chain. You look like a Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, the problem is that Bond would use that to kill you.
Well, that's not a
He
disability,
would.
so Bond wouldn't
Grab
use.
you by the chain and you throw you into some I don't know, acid or something.
Yeah, that's true. Noah asks, and they've linked a Live Science article here, and it says, according to this story, it's possible that we may one day be able to talk to whales. If we could, what would you say to whales? And why? And I had to include that.
Yo, you heard about James Bond?
I mean, whale's the animal, right?
The animal, yeah.
I mean,
You
it's
can
someday-
speak to a Welshman quite
Science
easily.
believes it may be possible one day to talk to these creatures.
to talk to the Welsh.
Yeah, I went to uni in
These
Aberystwyth
strange,
and
exotic people.
I don't know what the fuck's going on over there.
Some people believe that they may have an intelligence that exceeds even our own.
that's not true.
Please excuse this rather odd mixture of styles, but I refuse to go entirely Welsh. That's just H Bomber guy. He's just fucking living in Welsh. Anyway.
007, I'm going to have to do it. 007, you're going to be assigned to Llanfair Gwyngyth, go Gera, Chwyndrabur, Llandyssilio, go Goch. Be sure to...
I think if I could talk to whales, I would apologize on behalf of the human race. And
Yeah.
I would probably say, do you have any questions?
You always have to do like a world peace answer, which is so funny.
Imagine a whale just responding with less of a question, more of sort of a statement.
Well, because we've been in the water, right? So we kind of know what the deal with the water is. But the whales would be like, well, we've never been on land, so what's the deal with that? Like, what are boats for? You know, what do you do with all those fish that you take out? You know, what are the things that fly around? I mean, I just think whales would probably have some interesting questions. You know, I turn it over. I pass the microphone to less represented species because I'm here to let whales speak.
I actually respect cetaceans. I would hand the microphone.
Yeah, you know.
I think I'd mostly just ask if they smoke. I might have a good
you
time with a bowl
right now.
Yeah, hang out with a whale. I'll fucking go. I think.
Is it true that dolphins can see pregnant women?
Wait, what?
Sorry. So like what? Like fucking like through walls, like predator vision.
I like how I was just like, and then it took me a second to catch up. I was like, what?
I thought they could.
Abigail Thorne, what the fuck are you
What,
on
can
about?
you not see pregnant women?
No, I keep walking into them. It's terrible.
No, I don't remember where I've heard this, but I've heard that dolphins can tell if a woman is pregnant.
They probably, you know what? That
How
actually
did they
does make sense.
articulate this?
I don't know.
Emilio Largo, but instead of sharks, he's got a whole pool of dolphins, and their only use is he can tell if a woman is pregnant.
I heard that. I'm looking this up right now.
Going to SeaWorld while pregnant and like going past the dolphin enclosure.
Can dolphins tell you're pregnant? Here we go.
They're all just like
Here we
snapping
go.
their heads
Here we
90
go. Fucking
degrees
hell.
to look at you.
Using echolocation, dolphins might be able to detect a pregnant woman's developing fetus, some experts say.
Locate my baby, you
You
fucking sea freak.
You keep your fucking clicks away from my child, you cunt. You fucking leave him alone.
The dolphin, my mum was pregnant when she got in the tank, and that's why I'm trans. It can. Look, here we go. Nature World News. Dolphins can detect
Next
pregnancy.
question.
No, I'm staying on
It
it.
can.
Oh, fuck. I don't know if I can even...
Here we go. Previously, it was speculated because female dolphins are known to take a particular interest in pregnant women, often seen swimming close to them.
Gross.
So, Jesus Christ. Hang on. I'm trying to think of a question. Because last time I tried to segue quite neatly off of answers into a next question, and I'm really struggling.
Yeah, it led us here. It led us to
think.
dolphin echolocating your fetus.
To think of the segue for this.
So there you go. If you can't get a pregnancy test, but you've got a dolphin,
Keep your fucking waves out of my amniotic fluid, you dipshit animal.
I hate a dolphin. I truly hate a
can
dolphin.
dolphins tell that the woman is trans?
Do you know what's
Using
the worst
echolocation.
kind of dolphin?
Yeah, dolphins are turf.
Fucking Amazon River dolphin.
Ugh,
Fucked up creature.
horrible.
Problem is, a lot of animals are terrible. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Extremely
Sue
transphobic.
me, Amazon River dolphins, if you want a turf. Jesus Christ. So are there any films that like aren't on theme for the podcast that you're tempted to do a bonus episode on anyway? And that's from Rowan Crimes. Like either because it has like personal significance,
Lupin
or you
the
think there'd
Third.
be some good riffs.
Well, Lupin the Third was on topic. There's kind of some
Somewhat.
James Bond DNA in Lupin.
More Indiana Jones, especially that one.
Yeah, in that particular film, yes. In
Yeah, I think
other
that was-
Lupins, it's James Bond.
Yeah, we had to square the circle of picking a more recent thing and also just a movie, so it would be self-contained. But that was mostly
rather
it.
than watch 100 episodes of this anime.
To be fair, Jesus, Shannon has actually expressed interest in coming back on to talk about the live-action Inspector Gadget movie, which I think would be quite fun. But that's on the list for later on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's just kind of loosely on the theme of like special
I don't
cop.
know. I think the thing is, right, there's very little that you can't relate to James Bond just because it's so fucking omnipresent. It's such a cultural touchstone,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah. Good.
We can make the argument for fucking anything, which is good because we're going to run out of Bond movies.
What?
Isn't there like an Agent Cody Banks? We should
there
we
is.
should watch
There is.
we should watch fucking Alex Rider film at some point.
Oh, we should. We should watch Spy
It's going to be an
Kids.
Agent Cody Banks podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna just change our name so it's just KJB, not KGB. That's already used. Just KJB, and then we can just do whatever we want.
Mm.
A similar question from George Rohak, and this is one that we are honor bound to answer on account of them having the tier that makes us answer their questions.
Oh, God. Oh, fuck.
Don't worry.
Oh, shit.
It's almost good. What movie? No, they asked a couple of questions, and I picked the best one. What movies or series are potentially up for use in bonus episodes? Are there any that you feel obligated to do but dread having to do?
Austin
Austin
Powers.
Fucking Powers. Yeah, that's my.
Yeah.
I don't fucking want to watch.
We've got to do it. I don't want to do it.
I never liked
wanna
it as
do
a kid,
I
and,
don't
like-
want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Don't want to do it either.
You can't make me do it.
It's like making me do Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
fucking do. I will, but I'm gonna be mad about it.
I'm gonna have to be drunk the whole time, which is not conducive to a great podcast.
I think there genuinely
I
are
think it
some
is.
like interesting things to say
find a
about
book.
it from a film analysis point of view, but like,
Yeah, but we would be too mad to.
yeah, and I remember reading a very interesting article a while ago about like drag and Austin Powers. So there is something interesting like stuff in there, but there's also like some very explicit transphobia that would just make all of us feel bad if we watched it. Like, and that I
Yeah.
think is like. That I think is a dimension of like transphobia that people don't often talk about in movies. Like a while ago, I won't name names, but somebody who was putting on a stage show emailed me saying, "Hey, like we're doing this this show, and it was written in 19 whatever, and it's got this scene in it that's like we think might not be like right, but we've like not got any trans people in the cast. So what do you think?" And I got back to them and I was like, "Look, if I was sitting in the audience and I saw this, like it would make me feel like shit." Like, so I think people sometimes get in their heads about like, "Oh, is this like transphobic?" And like, has it like, are we saying the right words and stuff? But at the end of the day, it's just like if a trans person's watching it and it makes them feel like shit, then like it's not good.
Yeah.
And like,
And it's like for us too, this is work, so it's an
Yeah.
occupational hazard
Yeah.
is the thing, right? Like as much as I like this to be fun for us,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that we do for money and for your entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like say we're nuclear physicists, right? The elephant's foot at Chernobyl is interesting to us scientifically.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that we should walk right up to it and just like take a prod at it. because
I'm
it's
very much the
interesting.
Louis Slotin of podcasters.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
gonna
just
fucking
fucking
use
do
this
this
screwdriver
easy.
to keep the two halves of the James Bond movie apart.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
No, like
No, the Austin Powers movies are very much like one of those radiation sources that they had engraved with, if you can read this, drop and run.
Yeah.
You know?
that's the Cobalt.
I mean, I don't want to get into like a big beef about like, oh, he's like the definitive take. Like, is Austin Powers transphobic? Question mark. And
Yeah,
it's
it
like
is.
me in the
Yes,
YouTube
it
thumbnail
is.
being like, but like,
You should slide into that sort of content if you're.
Austin Powers sucked me off? Question mark.
yeah. Brackets gone wrong. But like, it just made me feel like shit to have to watch that, and I don't want to do it.
Brackets not clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are friends and we don't like hurting each other's feelings.
Yeah.
Much.
And we do sort of take it in turns to pick the bonus episodes as well, which is fun and nice. And it's sometimes you're just like, I don't want to watch a movie that's going to make me feel bad.
Yeah. Maybe on April Fool's next year we'll do like Austin Powers, and it'll just be a file of us going no, and then the theme song, and that's it.
No. And then the theme song for fucking an hour and a half.
Da-da-da-da.
No, it's us saying no, and then it's the fucking fake theme song from OK Connery.
For an hour, yeah.
Of the movies that we've seen, what is like objectively the dumbest evil plan a Bond villain's come up with, and this is from Larrykins.
Larrykin.
Hey,
Larrykins.
That's a great question too.
End of the
that is
show.
a
I
good
mean,
question.
the thing that I thought with Man with the Golden Gun is this plot is like not even illegal.
Yeah.
I think the dumbest has to be Spy Who Loved Me so far. Of we are going to live beneath the sea after I nuke all life on Earth.
Yeah, and the fact that he hadn't even built the underwater cities when he'd launched the nukes, I was like,
It's a proof of
what?
concept.
Like,
Yeah.
He had one. He had one, and it looked like a Legion of Doom.
One, I mean, we're gonna have to repopulate the Earth with one Russian woman and 3 submarine crews.
Obviously,
It's gonna be an interesting
she's going to be
time.
busy. Like,
there was a lot of we're gonna have to repopulate the Earth going on in the Bond movies of this sort of era. The
Mm.
next one that comes out is going to be Moonraker, and that very much is a we are gonna have to repopulate the Earth ass movie.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Very
because
strange.
it was from the first sort of mini awareness of climate change where everybody got a bit hysterical over stuff like Silent Spring, and they were like, everything's gonna die. We're gonna have to like repopulate Earth instead of. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna keep driving around in my like lead fueled car.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Fucking,
obviously they
like-
went for the first possible, like the most basic brained answer to the sort of climate emergency, which is, we're overpopulated, we're gonna have to kill all the brown people, which is
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
very
exactly.
much a go-to. And I just want to put it out here right now that
Still is. If your
overpopulation
name
is a
is David
fake
Attenborough.
problem.
Mhm.
It's not real. Every single estimate sort of puts us at hitting 10 billion in about 2100, and that is an amount of people that the Earth can support if we just
Mhm.
have good distribution systems. And then it
Mhm.
starts to slowly go down past that point. It's a fake problem, and if that's your major concern, you are just racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally is. Like, it's the same thing underlying the whole great replacement thing of just being like, yeah, mostly richer countries, which tend to be whiter, are having aging populations and are not having as many children. So therefore, like, humanity as a whole is probably going to get less white, which is, like, obviously a conspiracy by them.
Humanity as a
So-
whole is
so-
basically like mostly non-white. It
Yeah.
just
Like, in general, most people are Chinese. If you want to, like, do
it's like
averages.
average it out. Most people are either
Statistically,
Chinese or
listener,
Indian.
you're Chinese.
Yeah, statistically, you're a Chinese person.
1 in 5 people are Indian. So if you have a family
Yeah.
of 5 people, one of those is Indian.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to look out.
You have 5 friends. Well, statistically, one of them's Indian, and if none of them are, then it must be you.
Yeah, that's the facts. If you can't think of a single Indian friend you have, first
That's
of all,
maths.
look into that. Second,
That's mouse right
you-
there. I think special mention has to go to the plan from You Only Live Twice, which was engineer
yeah.
a global nuclear war because China time. And then the fee for
Yeah.
this is $100 million, despite the fact that it would like cost more than that to do, and the technology you develop to do it, to steal spacecrafts, would actually you could just like sell that.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of like operating at a loss. Yeah.
yeah, we flagged that up. They invented a VTOL fucking reusable spacecraft, and they had a
We've-
massive
we've-
volcano base. There is no way that alone was less than 100
No.
million.
We've overlooked the one answer, which is like canonical for us, and it's way back in the first, and it's simply rocket fall down. Mr.
Yeah, that's the
Bond.
worst plan. Is rocket fall down?
Rocket fall down, and then I move my evil base.
It's rocket
Moving
fall
the evil
down, and
base.
then again, it's just rocket fall down ? Chinatown. Like that's
Well, no, moving the evil base and blowing it up and moving, that's very silly. But the rocket fall down bit is like, well, we've developed they never say this in the film, that's the trouble. It's like, the
And I
idea
don't
is
care.
Dr. No was trying to develop a device that would like throw off the targeting systems of ICBMs. And that's potentially like a very good evil plan. You know, if you're on the verge of global nuclear
rocket
war.
fall wrong.
Yeah, like it's like rocket fall down, and you like it. You try and nuke China time, and then it doesn't work, right? That's kind of quite clever. Diamond Space
There are so
Laser,
many
also a
question
great one.
mark.
yeah, the
Also true.
third act diamond space laser, but they just like pull out. I also and again also the fucking man with the golden gun solar laser that they just have for one scene, and then like
Yeah,
that's a free bonus.
yeah.
moving
just
on.
Fun laser. Yeah.
This little laser they've got there.
It seems that whenever nuclear weapons get involved, Bond gets silly.
Yeah, because
Basically.
the underlying thing is so terrifying.
Mhm.
Like, even the most grounded of the plots that involves like nuclear weapons, which is Thunderball, right? Which is I'm going to steal them and then use them. That's still quite silly because it has to be. Because if you like come out of the theater having just seen threads with a guy with a tuxedo in it, then you're not going to go and want to go and see the next one.
The other problem with the nukes one is that they have to be extremely careful that the conclusion isn't nobody should fucking have these. Because they still want to have nukes as the UK. The big five plus Israel all still want to have nukes, but they have to be like, it's fucked up that anyone else could ever want these. The rest of the questions here are actually quite standard Bondy. So let's go for Alfred's one. Alfredo says, what
Master
do you
Wayne.
think would be the most cursed setting for a Bond film? Present or past or...
Ooh, that's a good one. It's a very
because
good
there's a
one.
few aspects to it, right? Like,
Well, I mean, not to spoil Brosnan, but we've already done North Korea.
yeah, because that actually would have been my answer if not for that.
Yeah, well, he's only in North Korea like, very
Bond,
briefly, isn't he?
Balkan Wars.
Oh, fuck, James Bond in Sarajevo.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay, that's
James
100%
Bond
it.
going on an anti-Albanian rant.
Iraq War, James Bond.
Ooh, that's
Would
also a strong contender.
Be a rough one. I think James Bond going to Yemen and like advising how best to bomb civilians.
I would
Be
say
a good
James
one.
Bond in Afghanistan, but I believe that's actually already happened.
Living Daylights.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
That was
We will
Afghanistan
get there.
1, wasn't it? Not
Yeah,
Afghanistan
the
2.
first. Yeah, before the sequel.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it is a
Soviet
film dedicated
Afghanistan
to the
invasion rather
dedicated to the
us.
gallant
To the
freedom
brave,
fighters of
fighters of the
Afghanistan.
Mujahideen, yeah. James
That's
Bond
all we do,
Emu
Ed.
War would be quite funny. That would be good. Just I think something just like a period of particularly dark British history, like James Bond versus the Zulus, would be good.
James Bond Mau Mau
Now,
emergency.
listen, 007.
I mean, that is just my. Never mind.
They've got slings and bows and arrows, while you have a 15-pounder gun.
I mean, I think
Called a concentration camp 007, and we're going to burn all the records of
I
it.
think the like man in tuxedo who like swans around being cool, putting down the Mau Mau rebellion. That's just like my actual
That's fun.
family history. So, no, oh fuck, I know. James Bond infiltrating Extinction Rebellion.
James Bond doing spy cop shit.
Modern and domestic is the most cursed Bond.
Oh, 100%.
That's true. That is true.
James Bond at like a Black Lives Matter protest.
A James Bond where he does not leave London. He's like, there's only one location and it's London.
Our street.
It's a toilet play, but it's just James Bond in like a Black Lives Matter protest. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to go with Saoirse O'Kelly. And if that's
Okay.
right, I'm going to pat myself hard on the back because this is Gaelic as hell. What do you think the next James? Do you think the next James Bond should also be a twink, like Q is? Because they did replace Q with a twink.
Well, it depends on whether you call Riz Ahmed a twink or not. If you do, then yes. If you don't, then no.
Well, the next James Bond is going to be owned by Amazon, isn't it? Because it's just been bought.
Yeah, and Amazon, we don't even know their attitude toward twinks.
Yeah, they've never clarified, have they?
Yeah, no, they've never
No.
gone on record if they're a pro or anti-twink company.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see what they do with it. I mean, I don't think, as we've said before, I don't think you can do anything good with a franchise. I think, like Star Wars, I think it's just like all you can do is like remake the same shit and remix references to the old one. I don't think it can go anywhere near.
You purchased the James Bond IP. That's a fucking albatross around your neck. That's not something you can do anything interesting with. That's just like,
Yeah.
we have to pump out some dog shit every 2 years.
Yeah, and like try and convince people that it's going to be good by hiring like increasingly award-bearing screenwriters and so on who also can't do anything with it because you can't do anything good with it.
That's something I'm very much excited to talk about when we get to more modern James Bonds is the fact that the production like has gone way up. but it's still
we
dog
got
shit.
we got serious directors instead of this one drunk English dude that we knew.
Instead of fucking Mankiewicz.
And like the new one's being written by the same lady who wrote Fleabag, but like it's still gonna be shit because you can't. Hypothesis: you cannot make a good James Bond film anymore.
Well, I guess it's more correct to say that the things that you would have to do to make James Bond good or interesting, no writer would be allowed to do.
Yeah, especially now it's owned by Amazon.
Yeah, because once you do that, once you take out all the shit that makes James Bond bad, you've just got The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Or you've got some other series like you can't do James Bond but good because he's so tied to Britain. And we hate Britain. We're an anti-Britain podcast. We hate this country. We disrespect the flag. We voted to take down the picture of the Queen in the King James Bond, Kill James Bond common room.
Yeah, wait. I want to say Rory Kinnear should be the new Bond. Let's go back. I want Russell Tovey.
We are all woke. We are the woke trans agenda.
Oh wait, shit. Rory Kinnear's already fucking in it. Sorry, wait.
Yeah, he's already in it. Yeah.
We just bump him up from Tanner to Bond.
To Bond, yeah.
No, he gets. We just call him Felix now. He gets to be Felix Leiter. Russell Tovey has to be Bond.
There's already a Felix Leiter in the modern ones, and he's really good.
I haven't seen them. Well, fucking speaking of which, here we go. Matthew Chang asks, "Who is your favorite semi-recurring character from the series?" The easy BYE is Jaws, but like I'm gonna put an X on Jaws for this one because it's too fucking obvious.
Okay. Fucking,
Gogol.
we haven't quite. Yeah, Gogol.
Yeah, Gogol does come back. He's fun.
Yeah, head of the KGB thing. He seems cool.
Is this from the films we've seen so far, or I do like Q because Desmond Llewellyn. He made a career out of that. He basically has like one scene in every film.
We're like.
It's always the same.
We're seeing him carving his niche out in the movies that we're watching now.
Yeah.
He's just going to be there for the rest of...
And it's cool because he's like, well, this is paying for my house. Or this is paying for my kids. Whatever. Like, he's got one scene in every film. It's always the same. And he just does it.
Going on in the background. And he goes, really 007. And then that's it.
That's his whole... That's a man's career right there.
And then he goes, like, money please. And leaves the set.
Yeah. The script moved me into a bigger house.
Huge rock. Cool. So, the three of us, Sonia asks, under what circumstances would the three of us accept the roles of three henchmen in a Bond film?
We would not.
I would say we would, but we have to be doing Ginyu Force shit the whole time. Like, I want group poses every 4 to 5 seconds.
I genuinely, I think the thing is, no matter what conditions we applied, they would be ignored, and we would get into the movie theater at the premiere, and we would see that they had added homophobic noise, except it was transphobic.
Yeah,
noise.
they've just made us do Hinks shit instead of being interesting.
Exactly. I would not trust the Bond franchise under any director, under any studio. So no, I wouldn't.
Well, I think I would. I mean, I would always accept a role. I'll play anything, right? Just because I love acting and it's my job. So, and also, like, I very much want to push back against this idea that actors and actresses, we only ever get to do like 100% woke cool projects. Like, no doubt, I am at some point going to appear in something that like people are going to go, oh, why are you in this? And I'm like, I don't have creative control over this. This is not a YouTube video. Do not at me.
Yeah, you've got to change James Bond from the inside.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would, because I like acting, and it would be cool to be involved in a film of that scale. Like,
I would,
but as a henchwoman specifically, I don't know. It would be cool if they offered us personal trainers, just because it would be cool to work with a movie personal trainer. I've never done that before.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, give me the Kumail shit going on. I want to be
that would be cool.
Ripped as fuck, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how like healthy or possible that level is, but like, I don't know, some level of working with a studio personal trainer would be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I think I would want to know that there wasn't anything like overtly transphobic in it. Like, I don't know, like if we were like at a bar and we were like, well, we all have secrets, Mr. Bond. Like that kind of thing would be like quite fun. Because like the you know, it's kind of a little wink. That would be good. And then some kind of like It would be cool to be evil. It would be cool to have like a moment of evil. That would be good. But not evil because we're trans. Just evil because we like being evil. That'd be
Okay.
Yeah, but Bond uses your transness to finally defeat you.
Damn it.
Oh no, that would be bad.
No, that's just Pet Detective.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. It
yeah,
is.
it is.
It is.
James Bond, Pet Detective.
It would be
James
quite
Bond
fun.
Pet
You know that
Detective.
bit in is it fucking Skyfall where the bad guy's feeling him up and Bond's like, "What makes you think this is my first time?" It might be quite funny if it was like Bond was like flirting with one of us at the bar and then like we let slip some line that indicates that we're trans and like he explicitly says like, "Cool, base, done it before, like not bothered."
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, nice. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm an actress. I'll play anything. Like that's what I do.
Neat. So let's go for a similar question. This is another one that we are honor bound to answer from Amanda
Okay.
Rogda, who says, "KJB crew, you are
Yes.
you are each made minor character allies as yourselves to Bond, such as like Karen Bay or Tiger Tanaka. How
Mhm.
do you assist him? But also, what details do you have in the film to show that you're much cooler than Bond?"
I'm sticking with the original and best answer of Karen Bay, which is all of my employees are my sons because I fuck that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, yeah,
I'm
actually,
constantly shown fucking or about to fuck. All of my employees are a result of me doing that. But yeah.
I think that's a very powerful move, Alice, actually, and I would echo that. It's like, if there are just all kinds of like sexy women who would be Bond women, but they're like into us, that would be cool. That would just be like a funny.
I have like my like Pussy Galore's Flying Circus kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
I have my harem. Yeah.
I would be a character like Tiger Tanaka. I would just be explicitly helpful to Bond, but the entire time I'm on screen, I would be lifting heavy objects and just like squatting, doing like push-ups. It'd be insane. It'd be good.
Mhm.
'Cause I'm a himbo.
Mhm.
A Dembo. If you call me a himbo, I'll block you.
That's right.
We.
You owe yourself £5.
I have. Okay, let me just transfer that now. Better. One question left.
Okay.
Actually, two questions left. AJC says, Tenet episode with Hussein when?
Yeah.
That's
all
a
right.
great idea, actually. I'll
Is
put that down.
Tenet Bondish?
Kind of.
Okay, cool. I'd be meaning to see that.
Everything's kind of Bondish.
Now let's round this out with a real head scratcher. Leo Curtis asks, "You're approached by Eon with a bold new vision for the Bond franchise, and you are tasked with rebooting the series as a furry anime. What species
Ooh.
are each of the core characters?"
That's very good.
Yeah, I had to throw this one in here because it's been rattling around my noggin for like 3 days.
Well, Blofeld is a white cat, obviously.
Of
Yes,
course.
Obviously.
I'm going to say that Bond is a fox.
Ah, yeah. I can
Oh,
see
M
that.
is a badger.
Yes, well done.
Very British, very sort of wise-ish.
Mm.
Mhm.
M's definitely got to be a badger.
I feel like Q is some kind of like bird.
Yeah. Let's sort of
An
limit
owl.
ourselves
Of course
to
he's
very
an owl.
British.
I have an answer
owl,
to this. I have an answer to this, which is rebooting James Bond as a furry anime has already been done, and the name of that anime is Chicken Run.
Jesus Christ.
You're blowing my mind right now.
Hold on, I need a couple of minutes to just think
Yeah,
about that.
just get my head around Chicken Run.
Tell me that I'm wrong.
I mean,
I
Chicken
can't,
Run.
because you know I'm not.
Chicken Run is not
They're
an anime,
all chickens.
but it's not anime.
Spiritually.
It's not spiritually an anime either.
Just because it's
It's an
like animated
Aardman
by like
thing.
guys
No.
in sheds doesn't mean it's not an anime.
No.
It's literally been anime.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it
anime
does.
doesn't just mean animated.
It's sort of like an extension of the Aardman creature comforts kind of a thing. It's not. I wouldn't say it even has any
I'm dying
roots
on
in
this
anime.
hill.
Yeah, and you will.
Chicken Run is an anime.
I'm
Then
Chicken
sorry,
Run is an anime
Chicken Run
that's
is
an anime adaptation of both James Bond and The Great Escape.
Chicken Run is not an anime.
Chicken Run is an anime.
Beastars? I don't know. Maybe Beastars is closer.
I actually
than-
really prefer Chicken Run with subs rather than dubs.
But if you haven't read the original manga of Chicken Run, don't even talk to me.
That's so fucking cursed.
Okay, fine. So ignoring the rogue member of this podcast, our rundown is...
You're turning down your microphone. You've got vaccine madness. You've gone insane.
She's going to server mute you in the Discord. Righto. They shouldn't have taken so much of your blood.
I'm like hammering on the window of the fucking podcast. Chicken Run is an anime.
This is madness.
You better stop saying things like that when we get Alex Patak on, otherwise they'll get very upset.
I was definitely bringing that up when Alex is on.
Yeah, Alex, you think Chicken Run is an anime?
Okay, so Blofeld, White Cat, obviously.
Definitely, yeah.
Bond, Fox,
just
M.
stroking
Badger,
a small human.
Moneypenny.
Ooh, I think female Fox.
I would say either like cat or like a kind of slinky dog, like one of the spaniels that's like kind of like with the hair, you know?
Oh yeah,
I
with like a big like lady from Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
cool.
I had Lady from Lady and the Tramp in mind.
Hell yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Jaws, why not? Jaws would just be... I don't think a shark would even be right, because sharks aren't hench.
Like a
Jaws
really
is like
big
a dog, I think. He's a big dog. He's like Pluto, you know?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
Who else we got? That's like everybody.
Yeah, Q's now.
There's not that many recurring characters. In
Felix
Bond
Leiter?
movies.
I don't know. He would be just like a basset hound or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are like American animals? Like a gopher?
I don't know. I've
Raccoon or
never
something?
paid attention to America.
Yeah.
Like
What do they do over there?
bald eagle? I don't know.
That would be quite funny.
I want someone to be a bison, but there's no one who fits that sort of bill. There's no big American guys in this. Sheriff J.W.
Funny
Pepper.
if you'd said, I want somebody to be a pelican, but I'm not sure anybody fits that bill.
Hey, Sheriff
Hey.
J.W. Pepper.
What's a racist animal?
Pelican. And a pelican is the state bird of Louisiana.
Pelican.
Is it actually?
Yeah, okay. Sergeant
Yeah, it actually
J.W. Pepper.
You shouldn't me. That's amazing. Yeah,
All right.
Sergeant
Sheriff
J.W.
Pepper
Pelican's really good.
Pelican.
He's got a big mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We fucking smashed that one. Easy.
Yeah, well
That was
done. You
skill check
Change the
destroyed-
one.
name of group chat to Sheriff J.W. Pelican.
I don't have any other questions. We have hit them all. All the ones that I picked out.
Yes.
Obviously.
Hell yes.
We have 102 questions.
We've learned, first of all, on this podcast that Chicken Run is an anime, and secondly, that dolphins
True.
can see pregnant women. So, those are your
right.
two big takeaways for today, listener.
Yeah.
That's right. If your question was not asked, you should have asked a better question.
There was a
We
lot of
will be-
guys asking questions that were answered on the first one.
James Bond will return in Moonraker.
Mm.
Moonraker. Getting your moon raked.
Moon.
That's what they want these
Fixing to
days.
get my moon raked this weekend.
Spoiler alert, it's not good.
Use the moon.
So while we're vaguely off script, I want to just make a point about film criticism. No, I'm going to keep talking. You just have to put that out. One of the major things that we get in sort of comments is people being like, "Oh, you could see the camera crew in a reflection in this," and that is boring shit to talk about. The cool criticism
because-
of movies like Moonraker is it kills every single named female woman in the entire movie except two.
Yeah, it's only cool to talk about technical gaffes if they're funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the fucking boom mic was visible
that
for a
one.
second.
Or
I
this one.
don't care.
Yeah.
Fine, the podcast's over. All right. I'm happy for the podcast to be over.
Fine, all right.
I'm not
Bye.
mad. See you later.
You know what? I'm going to do it again. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
We paid for this theme song. I'm getting my money's worth.
Nate, what you're going to want to do for this part is just keep the theme songs in, but have them quite quiet
Just leave it
so
in.
that you can still hear us trying to talk over it.